Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the White Belt MMA podcast. And it's an absolute pleasure to have on the show today Zac Moore, who's fighting next week, March 6th, 2021, against Dan Sharpio. So he's an amateur fighter right now. And, obviously his plans is to go pro later on in the future. So, Zac, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing awesome. I'm awesome.
Yeah, man. So,
Feeling good a week out from the fight. So
mhm. There you go. There you go. So how's the weight cut going? Is it going pretty well? Because I mean, you fight at featherweight, 145, but my man, you're a big featherweight. So I'm guessing you have to cut down from a lot of weight. So I mean, obviously, if you don't mind, telling the audience like where do you usually walk around at, and like how do your weight cuts usually go?
if I have no fight scheduled at all, I'm usually walking around about 175.
Hmm.
So I've got a pretty good cut. But man, this weight cut's been the easiest. I haven't focused on the weight. I've been focusing on myself and my skills. So it's super easy this time. The weight cut's gonna be simple.
Yeah, and is featherweight, the weight class that you wanna continue in, or do you usually, I mean, or do you foresee yourself seeing you like moving up later on in the future?
Actually, that's a good question. I'm actually moving down to bantamweight. I'm
Really?
gonna go 35. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like what got to that decision? Was it with you and your team and you were just like probably it's the best fit for you or
Man, I'm short. I'm only 5'7", so you look at most guys in the featherweight division in the UFC, Bellator, even as amateurs, you're looking at like 5'9", 5'10", and so it's a big disadvantage being 5'7". So going down to bantamweight, it's more fair.
Mhm. I can definitely see. So like I mean you're gonna have to probably cut out a lot of the good food though. I'm guessing you'd have to stop with the cheeseburgers, the pizzas and all that. So my man, I'm feeling for you, but like you said, it's like it's probably the best decision for your career going on. So my man, let's go all the way back to the beginning. So the start of your MMA career. I like asking in whatever field it is, whether it be MMA or whatever. Like let's say successful people, like how they got their start into the field that they're in right now. So Zac, so like tell us a little bit how you discovered MMA. Did you find a martial art at first, and then it's that you started combining them? So yeah.
Yeah. So starting off as a young kid, I started wrestling. Wrestled around my family, all my life, brothers, cousins. Um, but then, got into junior high and high school, and wrestling started becoming super serious. It was new to Arkansas, actually. I was the third, maybe fourth graduating class that even had wrestling in Arkansas. So, it was very new to Arkansas. Our team would travel out of Fort Smith into Oklahoma and travel with some of the best high school teams in Oklahoma. Um, and then wrestled through high school, won state championship in Arkansas. And then one of my buddies, he would fight, and he was like, "Man, you've got to come try it. You've got to come try it. You're an awesome wrestler. You've got to come fight." So, I joined a gym, and I didn't find myself fit at the gym that I was at.
Mm.
And so I moved to the gym I'm at now, which is River Valley Combat Academy, Family Combat Fitness. And man, they've welcomed me and turned me into the fighter I am now.
Yeah, and I mean, and you train with Bellator fighter Daniel Carey. So how's that like? I mean, I had him on the show a couple episodes back. So I'm guessing there's some good gym stories in there. So like if there are, share some with the audience. So
Man, Daniel's an awesome guy. Anytime anybody's in the gym, we have a whole bunch of fighters, so our fights are scattered out. We've got guys fighting, actually weighing in tomorrow and fighting this weekend. We've got guys fighting next weekend, the weekend after. So, everybody's cutting weight and training differently at different times. And anytime you go in our sauna or in our gym, Daniel's in there helping somebody either cut weight, get ready for fights, or getting ready for himself, man. He's a busy dude with
yeah.
with everybody in our gym.
Yeah, and especially like for you, like having Daniel there, like is it an inspiration to see him because he's in Bellator, he's in one of the big promotions, like so, like like you said, Daniel's one to help like everyone on the team. So for you, do you see him as an inspiration to hopefully, you know, as a role model, like follow his steps into get into Bellator or the UFC or any of these big promotions?
Absolutely, man. When I'm not in the gym training with Daniel, I'm messaging him, getting as much insight as I can, learning. I'm like a lost puppy with a little cup. You know, I just dump it out every time I'm around him and let him fill it up with knowledge. So
Yeah, and how about the gym stories though? Like I'm guessing you guys have gone at it a couple of times. Obviously, like how they've been. Is it intense or is it one of those like Daniel be like, okay, I'm gonna help you out here.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, Daniel's laid back. He's super laid back, funny guy. You know, always got the jokes. You know,
Mhm.
funny laughs. You know, we'll be going through. For example, last weekend or the weekend before that, we went to Tulsa to set up our cage, and every time we'd go through a toll booth, you know, he's got this funny laugh as loud as he can do it. You know, making people smile and laugh all the time. So
There you go. And my man, so back to your career though, right? Like, you know, you got to the gym you are right now. So like your first couple of fights, how was that feeling like? I know you said you had you know, a background in wrestling, but then again, MMA is a whole different ball game. So like, you know, first couple fights, how did that go for you? How were the nerves? Were you nervous or you were kind of like, you know, I'm where I'm supposed to be and, you know, everything will be fine from here.
my first fight, super nervous.
Mhm.
I was at, you know, I was at that other gym that I talked about, and I had been training for maybe a month, 3 weeks, and I took a fight on a 1 day notice
Man.
on LFA against a 4-0 guy
Mm.
out of Team Alpha Male. You know, and you go on Facebook and you see this guy, every picture is with like Uriah Faber, Cody Garbrandt, and I'm like, man, I don't know what just got myself into, and but ended up getting knocked out. That was my very first fight.
Mhm.
But since then, you know, from then I went on a 4-fight win streak. Um, Actually got a title against, you know, the number one amateur featherweight in Arkansas, the U.S. Southeast. Got knocked him out in the first round, and you know, we've had a couple of fights since that haven't went our way, and some that have, and so
But
looking to
But if
go ahead.
anything, though, it's some good experience, though. Like you said, and like you said, it's like the fact that, like, you know, after your first loss, you racked up 4 straight wins right out of the bat right after that. So like I'm guessing it's some good learning experience as well. And you know, like you said, it's like you know, we can probably use Daniel as an experience, Daniel as a lesson to be like, you know, there's up and downs, but then again, like look where he's at now, Bellator, fighting for one of the big promotions. So
Yes,
talk
sir.
about yeah. So talk about your next fight with Dan Shapiro. So you know, tell us a little bit about your opponent and you know how has camp been for you and yeah.
Camp's been amazing. You know, we had the little slowdown with the snowstorm that came through. You know, Arkansas is not used to that type of storm, so you know
Mhm.
it shut everything down. So you know we had, you know, the only people that would go to the gym were, you know, about 5 people, and so training was very limited, and who you could train with was very limited. But other than that, man, we've had an awesome camp. You know, we're really never really out of camp. We may eat unhealthy when we're not in camp, but you know, we're never really out of camp. We're always training hard for fights that present themselves. We're already always ready for the opportunity in front of us.
Let me
Um,
mhm.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Dan Shapiro, man, he's a striker. He's been in the game a minute. You know, his only loss is to a 7-1 guy out of Memphis, Tennessee, which is their 2 or 3 time champion. You know, so they got the guys. He's good. You know, he's at the level we want to be. You know, we want our hardest fight to be one of our last amateur fights.
Definitely,
So
definitely. And for you know for your fight against Dan Shapiro, tell the audience where the fight's gonna be. So it could be in Toledo. I'm butchering the
Tupelo.
name. Tupelo. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a little bit of a tongue twister there. Mississippi. So is there any other place that like you know fans can go and watch you, like whether it be in a streaming service or would they have to get you know buy a ticket and go and see you?
Yeah. There's a streaming service. I'm not sure on the name of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is about to put it out within the next couple of days. I guess he's kind of waiting for ticket sales to go up. I know that the show's completely sold out of general admission tickets.
Mm.
There's like one VIP table left, so this show is like packed out. And from what I understand, you know, it's the biggest card that this promotion's ever had.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, my man, before we, end up going, do you want to drop your social media down below so everyone watching can go and follow you, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, whatever you have, so we can keep up with you and keep up with you on your journey.
Let's see. Figure out how to do that here.
No worries, no worries. No, you can just say your ID,
Okay.
and then like we'll edit it. We'll put everything in the downstairs. Yeah.
You got to check out my Instagram at Zac Moore, ZAXMOORE, and then on Facebook it's just Zac Moore. You know.
There you go. There you go, Zac. Like once again, I really appreciate the time for you. Sit down, give me a couple of minutes. Tell us about your next fight, and hopefully we can do this again in the future. And I'll be definitely following your journey and as you keep going up with the ranks.
Perfect. Awesome.
My man. Thank you again, Zac. So to
Thank you,
everyone
sir.
watching, peace.
Peace out.
See you, brother.